chances are you probably haven't, but I'm here to tell you that doesn't take away from the impact she has had on the occupational therapy field. So the way I found out about this, I actually asked one of my friends, and she said she was one of the most influential people in occupational therapy, so I did a lot of research on her. So Claudia actually had impacted the OT community in many ways with her work, studies, and practices on mental health. So first, let's talk a little bit about Claudia K. Allen and how she came up as an OT. So she has a very respectable background with 3 different titles to her name. Those titles include MA, FAOTA, and OTR. The MA title stands for Master of Arts degree. The FAOTA stands for Fellow of the American Occupational Therapy Association. And in order to get that title, you have to be worldwide OT and have practices happening universal and be in the field for an extensive period of time. She was born on October 10th, 1941, and she passed away this year at age 77 on February 25th. According to Bluestein Jeffrey, cognitive disabilities involves many different questions, and it is a very broad statement. So some cognitive disabilities can cause people to have problems with attention, problems with memory, and problems with problem solving. Claudia K. Allen took all these into account and made a screening test. So now let's look a little bit closer to her works. So she had 6 levels of cognitive ability, 1 being the most disabled and 6 being the highest, and showing that you can function on your own and you can make good judgment with no assistance. So Esther Herma explains this as a test that evaluates the ability of someone to make decisions, function independently, safely perform basic skills, and learn new abilities. So Allen had a very different way of looking at cognitive abilities. Rather than asking people a series of questions like most tests are done, she actually had a series of sewing and patterns that you needed to do, and she would base your skills on a scale of 1 to 6. So these tests were to just see what kind of supervision this person needed. It wasn't made to diagnose anyone with it, which was very weird because a lot of people just asked you a lot of questions and they would diagnose you with something. So for the scores, if you were scoring on 1 to 2 on this test, you would actually need 24-hour assistance in your everyday life. 3 to 4, you're looking at someone that would benefit from a routine, and 5 to 6 indicates that you have no cognitive disabilities and you're completely fine on your own. So right now, what that does is worldwide, we can do this now, and we can see what kind of assistance someone needs. We can put them through all these tests and determine how much help they need, which ends up in the end helping the person way more. So this helps therapists determine on a practical level how much assistance the patient is going to need. And according to the Scandinavian Journal of Occupational Therapy, there's another version of this test. So as time goes on, they can tweak these tests and make it different. And they actually have a test that can help with addiction. And so Claudia created a whole different approach for working with cognition that has allowed new therapists to run different tests and help others. Now that you know about Claudia K. Allen and her works, let's go back over what we learned. Claudia is one of the most valued occupational therapies, and her works in improving and helping mental disabilities are still used today. So we talked about the background of Claudia, what she's done, and how her works are still used today. And the importance of Claudia will live on forever, and her works will always be appreciated and used in individuals around the world, such as you and others that you love.